With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
Hello students, so today our question is find the correct number of statements with respect to test cross. So the first statement is it is a cross between dominant unknown genotype and recessive parent. The second is it is a cross between progeny of F1 generation and recessive parent. And the third we have is to determine the genotype of all pea plant at F2 generation. And the last we have is to find out the genotype of dwarf pea plant in F2 generation. So there are four options with us. So let's talk about this. So what is a test cross? So this is the cross of an individual organism of dominant phenotype but their genotype is unknown. Unknown genotype is there. So this is a test cross. So the next we have is Mendel, the scientist, experimented on garden peas. And what does he do? He test cross these pea plants. Only one trait was considered, that is of height. So he took plants of tall height which were denoted by capital T, and the short one, that means dwarf one, they were denoted by small t. So when they were crossed together, let's see when they were crossed together. So these capital T are the dominant one and small t are the recessive one. So when they were crossed together, that means capital T, small t, small t. So what happens? All the traits were dominant. So all were dominant traits. So this was the F1 generation. So they were all tall. So when this F1 generation was again crossover for F2 generation, what happens? So when this is the Punnett square. So what happened? We have one is tall, this is also tall, so this one is tall, and the last we have is recessive one. So this is the recessive one, and the ratio was 3:1, as only one was recessive and the other were dominant. So the next we have is when they were test crossed, their phenotype was known, but we cannot find their genotype. So what happens when homozygous plants were taken in consideration? So when homozygous cross was formed, we got all the tall plants. That means the cross between the and this. So they were all tall. But when there were heterozygous plants, so when there was heterozygous condition, we have this, we have so half the number were tall and half the number were dwarf. This was happened in heterozygous condition. but in homozygous condition all the plants were tall plants. So let's go to our statements. So the first statement we have with us is, it is a cross between dominant unknown genotype and recessive parent. So this statement is the correct statement. So this statement is the correct statement. So the next we have is, it is a cross between the progeny of F1 generation and a recessive parent. So this is the incorrect one, as there is no cross between the progeny of F1 generation and a recessive parent. So the next we have is, to determine the genotype of tall plant F2 generation was done. So yes, there was F2 generation which was done to know the genotype of the tall plant. So the next we have is, to find out the genotype dwarf pea plant in F2 generation. So this is the also the incorrect one, as dwarf pea plant was not considered and only tall genotype was to known. So there are two correct statements with us. So the answer we have is 2 to this question, and the other options are the wrong options.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.